What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to FB Capital. And today I'm bringing you guys a little bit of a longer video. So today is Sunday, Mother's Day. So if you are watching this on the day of, happy Mother's Day to everybody. If you are watching this, make sure you tell your mom, your aunt, your sister, anybody that has a kid, happy Mother's Day from me. So with that being said, I have a little bit of a longer video today. So I'm going to be doing the daily range case study from Friday, which is today's the 8th, so Friday should have been the 6th, I'm pretty sure. So May 6th, Friday, April 2022 is, I said May 6th, April 2022. I'm fried. May 6th, 2022 is the daily range I'm going to be doing, and then I'm also going to be doing my weekly market breakdown after I do the daily range. So with that being said, let's get right on into this video. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mark up the Thursday's previous day's high and previous day's low. So we have the previous day's high up here, then we have the previous day's low right down here. The first thing I noticed is the previous day's low did get ran through, unlike the previous day's high. And there is a reason why I personally predicted that price was going to more than likely reach the previous day's low and not the previous day's high. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit. So the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the previous day's Asian session range. So from 18 o'clock all the way to midnight, that's going to be my Asian session range that I'm going to delineate. So boom, boom. Got the Asian session range, and the last part is going to be the 12 a.m. open from the Friday. So there's a few areas in price I want you guys to pay attention to. I want you to pay attention to this high, this low, right there, and then also this high right here. There's not really much due to the fact that it was NFP. This Friday was NFP. Also, it was just not the best week overall. Range for a lot of it. We had a few days where there were a few moves that you could have potentially caught, but nonetheless, for the most part, it wasn't the best. So we're going to start off with this high up here. Why is this high important? So first of all, we're keeping in mind that this high is the high that ran the liquidity above this high. And also, if you look to the left, let me make sure this Asian session range is spot on. Right here, we have the Asian session high also. So we had the Asian session high along with this short-term high that got ran through at this time. So why is that important? Because after we cleared this liquidity, we made the high of the day where, look at where we are in price, 12,900 big figure level. So we ran the liquidity of the Asian session high. Let me skip this. And then we also tapped into 12,900. It didn't save. Okay. 12,900, which is a big figure level that is also in confluence with this high right here. So here, let me move this just like that. 907, 901. Here, let me just go back. I fucked it up a little bit. 900. I want to move this high. Damn, I keep fucking it up. All right, give me a second. Give me a second. Just like that. There we go. So we ran the liquidity above that Asian session high and also tapped into 12,900, making the high of the day at what time? 11:15. So we have the high of the day at 11:15 a.m. after we tapped into 12,900 and also Asian range high ran. So we cleared the liquidity above the Asian session high, tapped into 12,900. Also, we made the high of the day at this time. So why is this important? Because the reason why we like to delineate these highs and lows of the day is because it gives us an idea on what could potentially happen the next day. If this happened on, say, Friday now, we know what to look for potentially next Friday. Next area I'm going to be paying attention to is this low right here. Why is this low important? So for starters, this is the low of the day. We got the low of the day at 9:45 in the morning. Now that's not the only thing. Where did we tap into on price? As you can see, if you look a little bit higher, we have this 12,600 level. And if you come a little bit lower, even more, we have this 12,550 right here, and you can see how price respected this midpoint right here, and you can see how price is bouncing off of the 600 level along with the 12,550. Now, even though these aren't my major big figure levels that I like seeing, regardless, you can see how price is reacting off of them. So like I said, we have the low of the day at 9:45, so we're going to annotate that. So we have the low of the day at 9:45 a.m. after what? Trading into 12,550 mid-figure level. And also, what other confirmation did we have? We're going to go to a slightly higher time frame just to see if price tapped into anything. And as you can see, if you look to the left, there's not really much going on for the past few weeks. So we're just going to go off of what price did just like this. So we're not going to use any data to the left. We're just going to use strictly these levels and how price reacted off of them. So this is what we have here. There isn't no other confirmation for why this made the low of the day, but we also, now we're going to lead to this area right up here. Why is this area right here important? Because since overall price had its bearish momentum, we made the low of the day and this high of the day, we ideally could have potentially looked to catch this short. Now, what would you have done if you knew this one to go short? So after this, we see we made the high of the day after clearing those liquidity, and you can see the movement we had to the downside, which showed a lot of bearish momentum, meaning when you see big moves like this with big bearish or big bullish engulfings, a lot of the time this is going to be from big institutional banks and big people with big money. And why do I know that? Because us as retail traders, we don't have enough money to move the market. So what I would personally do is I'm going to take this high of the day from here, and I'm going to draw a fib from that high to this low right here. Why this low? Because this is the lowest point before price started to retrace. Now I'm going to draw my fib. So from there to there, I'm going to get rid of the 38.20% level because, as you can see, it was not respected. And you can see that if you go to say the 30-minute, an hour, this is where you can see price slowly start to respect these levels. And we're going to go back to 15, and we're also going to look at what is right here. When we made that high of the day, we also created this order block right there also, and you can see how price tapped into the order block and also tapped into the fib short, along with coming right above this 12 a.m. area. And overall, look at where this is in price right here. Right here we have this 12,800 level, which you can see there was a lot of orders being built in this area. So price retraced into this 15-minute order block, this fib short above the 12 a.m. open, and overall then from here price had this drop of about 300 points. And if you simply would have been looking to target this potential order block down here, or just looking to target 12,600 or 12,550, you would have been able to get out of this trade without potentially risking getting caught holding a trade going into the weekend. So now let's annotate this. At what time did this move happen? Price tapped into this area at 1 o'clock. So at 1 p.m., we had the fib short along with 15-minute order block rejection, along with being above 12 a.m. open. And why do I like being above and below certain areas like the open? It's because it basically gives us a premium and discounted area. So ideally you can see the best moves that happened to the downside all took place above this area. Price came up, created a wick after clearing this London session high, had a major drop. Price came all the way back up again after making the high of the day and clearing the Asian session high, had another drop. Came back again for the retracement, had another drop. And you can see all these major moves took place above this 12 a.m. area, meaning, so I use this example a lot. When you want to buy a car, you want to buy the car for the least price possible and sell it for the highest price. So the same thing goes with this. You want to sell at the highest price, buy at the lowest price. And you can see the best buys would have been somewhere below the open. Best scenario below the open, best scenario below the open, best scenario below the open. Anything in here below the open, anything above, you would ideally want to sell. This keeps everything nice and simple. So with that being said, this is the daily range from Friday NFP. So let's get the schematic of what happened. So we had the Asian session range, then we got the low cleared during London session. Price started to consolidate throughout the day before having a major drop, creating the low of the day, before pushing, clearing the Asian session high, before this overall ranging again. So for the most part, today was a bearish New York reversal. Nothing crazy really happened, but you also got to keep in mind it is NFP and the volatility was not ideal, but there's still things you can learn off of all these moves along with anything. So this is our daily range case study, and I'm going to send this in the Telegram. So if you're not in the Telegram group, the link is in the description, so make sure you join that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing the weekly market breakdown for what I'm expecting for this week on NAS100. And what we're going to do first is I'm going to get rid of all this. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start off on the monthly time frame for NAS100. Here, let me turn these things up. I'm getting a lot of notifications. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark up the previous month high and the previous month low. So we have 23 days for this month since it's a new month. So we're going to mark up April's highs and lows. So we'll start off right here. We got the previous month low, and up here we have the previous month high. And as you can see, everything is pretty bearish, and ideally based off the monthly, I'm still looking to travel down into this area down here, which I'm pretty sure is around 12,000 right, and here's 12,100, and that looks like the level that is right here. So we have 12,100 100 right in here. I'm going to make this line black. Then we also have 12,000 big figure level right a little bit below it. So let me just go over here and do it myself. Then we have 12,000 right in there. So ideally at this high of the order block, I'm expecting to see a reaction with either 12,000 or 12,100. And if you do this, I'm going to pull a fib from this low. That's not what I meant to do. I'm going to be pulling a fib from, why is it doing this? It's acting weird. Pull a fib from this low. Why this low? Because this is the order block that I'm going to be using as the origin for this move to map out where price is likely to retrace from. And we're going to use that high because that's the highest point. Also, it is the all-time high for NAS100. We're going to pull the fib. Boom, boom. And as you can see, price is slowly coming into this fib area. And this 79% is also in confluence with 12,100. So that it's likely going to be an area that I'm going to be watching out for. So I'm just going to keep this eye right on here. And as you can see, price is slowly having this reaction at the 70.50% as of right here. Boom. So we're likely to see price push back somewhat a little bit higher if this is going to be the major move. But in my opinion, I think price still has a little bit of room to the downside before pushing higher. So this is my monthly analysis as of right now. We're going to go down to the weekly now. And with the weekly, I'm going to do the same thing I did on the monthly time frame. I'm going to mark up the previous month high, not the previous month, previous week high and the previous week low. So from here, this high right here, this is going to be our previous week high. Then we got the previous week. I keep getting the words fucked up. Then we got the previous week low right here. Boom. There we go. So now everything is bearish. Monthly bearish, weekly bearish. So now we're basically just anticipating price to continue moving bearish. But now we know where price is likely to make the run for 12,000 this area, and we're likely going to clear the liquidity below this low that we have right here. Why do I want to clear that low? Because I know that right below this low is going to be a lot of orders getting put into the market around the 12,000 level. So if we clear the liquidity, clear the sell side liquidity, and start changing where price is likely to move to, that's ideally what I want to see. I just want to see price have a reaction, and you can see price is already having this reaction right here. So something I'm looking to do, clear this low, tap into 12,000. And mind you, this might not even happen this week. This is a long-term perspective based off the monthly, the weekly, and slowly going down to the daily, which then we're going to get into the intraday analysis. So this is the previous week high, previous week low. We're already bearish, and ideally I know where price is going to make the run for. So now I'm going to go to the daily time frame. And now that we have our, I'm not even going to do the daily. Now that we have this higher time frame analysis based off the monthly and weekly and where price is likely to go based on the grand scheme of things, we're going to go back to the intraday and we're going to map out where price is likely to go based off of the daily perspective. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to mark up the previous day's high and previous day's low. So from Friday, boom, boom, we got the previous day's low right here, previous day's high. We don't have the Asian session range, so we're going to map up the previous days, so Thursday's Asian session range, and we're going to potentially map out a retracement using that, because as you guys know, the market closes on Friday before the Asian range starts. So we're going to use the previous day's Asian range, and we're going to use Friday's previous day's high and previous day's low. I'm also going to be using the previous day's high and previous day's low from this Friday and draw a fib to map out a potential retracement. So from the low to the high, you can see price is already having this reaction as it is from this order block right in here, this low. So as of right now, price is looking like it's trying to push to the top side as of right now, based off of just what I'm seeing. And also, simply put, we could draw another fib from the previous day's high to this low right here, because we can't draw it from here to here because this happened after. So we're going to draw it from boom, boom. And we have these two potential fibs that we can potentially see a reaction of. So price is either going to start to push, potentially tap back into this order block we have over here, start pushing back to the previous day low and continue that bearish over order flow, or price is going to try to make a run for the previous day's high before potentially going lower. That is just based off of what I'm watching right now. So there's going to be a few areas I want to watch out for. I'm just going to be watching the previous day's high and previous day's low, because there could be potential false break scenarios where price is likely going to try to push to one of these directions. And based off the higher time frame, we are bearish, but we got to keep in mind that price is having this reaction at the 70.50%. We also have this 13,000 level right above. So there could be a chance that after we clear this low, price might try to have a push of some sort, because you got to keep in mind for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, we have been bearish with no pullback. So there is a chance that price could start to try to pull back this week. So you got to be ready for all case scenarios. So even though I wouldn't ideally want to see a pullback because I am more bearish. You never know what's going to happen. So simply, we're going to come back to this weekly time frame. We're going to map out potential areas where prices like to have a pullback to. And if we look where that is, it's right up at this breaker block right here. So this last down candle, here, I got to take this off over here. This magnet is fucking me up. So this last down candle before this up move, that's going to be our bearish weekly breaker block. So right here. So we could potentially have this reaction because we also have the confluence with the previous week high. So we can even get a false break of it before coming lower. We have the 38.20%. And then we have these fibs up here. So we have 14,000 and around 13,500. So those are going to be two areas I want to watch out for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, 13,500. And then we have 14,000 all the way up here. Now this is going to be longer term perspective. I don't expect to see this right away. But something that could potentially happen is we can make a run for these areas since we are starting to reject based off this weekly and we have no pullback. So you got to expect the unexpected. So even though price might keep falling, and if it keeps falling, we know where we're going to be aiming for. The previous day's low and also 12,000. Or if we come all the way down here, $12,000 right here. So if we break this previous day's low when we come into the market open, more than likely price is going to make that run for 12,000. But if we start to push higher, breaking the previous day's high, I think there's going to be a good chance that 13,500 or 14,000 is going to be met this week. And this is just based off of what I'm expecting. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but this is my personal thoughts. And mind you, anything can happen. Price can even just start ranging when the market opens. But also keep in mind the levels that we are currently trading in. We have this 12,800 level, and then we have this 12,500. So we're currently trading within this 300-point range right here. So until we can break out of it, we're likely gonna see some stuff. And also if you look at where this fib is, we also, that's income close, which is 12,800 level. So there is likely to see a reaction here. Even if it's not long term, we're likely just to see a reaction. And we also have the confluence with that Asian range low. So in my opinion, this is going to be an area that I'm watching out for also. There's a few areas, but this is the main one, and I'm going to delineate it by having this eye and having a yellow thing around it, just so I know to watch it. But nonetheless, this is currently what I'm expecting for this week. Long term, I am still bearish, at least until 12,000. But like I keep on saying, you never know what's going to happen. You don't anticipate the market. You can just react to what price is telling you and what it's showing you. And based off of what it's showing me, this is something that I would like to see. Around 12,800, I would want to see a reaction and come to the downside and reach for 12,500 in the previous day's low. But if that doesn't happen, 13,500 to 14,000 is where I'm targeting. So with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little bit longer, about 17 minutes, but regardless, it is a lot of quality information, and it's just giving you guys an insight on how I personally view the market. So nonetheless, if you were able to learn something from this, and if you found this helpful and just seeing the way I personally view the market, then make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And also make sure you join the Telegram, because I will be sending this whole video to the Telegram along with the screenshots of the daily range and the weekly market analysis and what I'm personally expecting. So with that being said, I appreciate you for watching this video. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, and if you're watching this and you are a mother, happy Mother's Day. Enjoy your day, enjoy the weekend, stay productive. We will get active this week. Let's have a good week, good trading week, productive week, and I'll see you all soon.